Hi there, trying something a bit different this time. It's been a bit over a month since Combo Breaker, and I thought I would go into a match review of my streamed match. I went into bracket not expecting to fight DZ. I expected to fight Order 60 Schmix, a pretty good Eno who I've played in the tower before. So I focused mostly on neutral, trying to get my confirms down so that I can make the most out of my combos and avoid getting mixed. But I ended up fighting a Ram. I didn't know what I was up against till I was on stage, sweating, and anxious. I don't think Anji has that bad of a time with Ram, mostly because his range is good for counter poking. You see, there's my first problem right there. Let's go to the exact moment here. You can see it right there. 2S whiffed. In general, I try to do close slash 2S to pressure people who are blocking, but I didn't expect the backdash, so 2S whiffed. Adjustment for that should have been to try going for 5H or delaying 2S, but actually, as you can see, it's various points. I didn't manage to adjust. One thing that does stick out to me is there's no proper punishment after Nagiha there earlier, so I was feeling fairly confident about using it for pressure. If you saw a second ago, I did a good fuzzy jump. I'm not very good at those, so good for me. Under the sword. Again, see the 2S. I guess I missed my dash cancel there. And just close it out with a couple jabs. I feel like overall maybe I didn't know enough about Ram. You'll see that later. Trying to hit buttons there far at the H range. Jeez, what a problem. Yeah, that's another poor adjustment. I need to just block when I spin out of the swords. That's one thing I like to do against Ram, is to spin. Yep, there. See, I did 5H instead of 2S there. So maybe a little adjustment happens, just not enough, not consistently enough. Good capitalize on the damage there. I'm feeling pretty good. If I recall correctly, I took this first match. I haven't rewatched it. See there, I blocked. Good adjustment on the spin through the swords. In general, that's not a good idea with Anji, because you can get meatied after spinning projectiles. The opponent can move freely. I don't know why I kept doing it. I didn't cancel out of that 6P, and Ram gets to aggress because of that. I'm hitting buttons. I'm panicking. I hit throw, you see, after getting meatied after a spin, just like I was saying earlier. My main thought here was just save burst, just save burst. I couldn't capitalize off that Ko. That was a bad time. Taking DZ's burst there was actually one of the things I was kind of hoping for. I wanted to keep it safe since Ram held a meter. I didn't want to eat a reversal. They're kind of notorious for dealing all that damage, you know. I really hoped that wouldn't kill. Anji can sometimes survive stuff, but no dice. I got my burst though. This is where Anji wants to be. The air dash out, that's kind of a unfortunate foreshadowing. I mistimed a meaty there. Anji's close slash has 7 active frames. I'm not very good at the Ram defense in the corner. Anyway, Anji's close slash has 7 active frames. Ram's backdash has 4 frames of invuln, I believe, so a properly timed close slash can meaty it, but I mistimed it. A lot of the setups I practiced for meaty close slash come from air dashes, from stuff like Ko. Good old run up throw. You gotta be careful with that when you do Nagiha. People like to do that when they're not sure what kind of punishes they can get out of the corner. I'm not very good at anti-airing. I had an issue there. You saw I missed the anti-air and the air dash. Again, missed the anti-air and the air dash. That's the difficulty of playing Anji. I managed to capitalize off that OTG. That was probably a flubbed counter super.
I feel like when you want to get aggressive with Anji,
So my awareness is not bad, but I am missing certain things like anti-airs. I don't really have very good reactions. There's that 2S again, the early 2S, so I couldn't catch the backdash. Yeah. Lost my mind against the super there. I'm really surprised mashing out there happened.
Dashes up, gets a close slash. One more of those, and it's over. Look at the meter. Slash. Overhead right RC. Do it again, do it again, do it again.
That was supposed to be an instant overhead, BRC overhead. I flubbed the execution. Big disappointment. That would have gotten me it for sure. I didn't capitalize off the counter hit 6P either. Big disappointment. I know Ram's far slash has 11 startup, so I was figuring 2S might be able to catch stuff. I should have 2S there instead of 5H. Good job getting out of the corner. I'm not getting many of my... See, I adjusted and used 2S that time instead of 5H. I'm not getting a whole lot of the... I'm not getting many of the quick blue Roman cancels into close slash co there. I'm really spotty with it even today, even after practicing for a month or so. It's a bit disappointing I can't really do it consistently, even after practice. Avoid the run-up throw. Have Ram where I want her. And I used far slash there kind of as an alternative to a delayed close slash or a 5H just to capitalize on the meaty backdash. No gimmicks in this match. The empty JK after super wall break's not going to work here. That was a little sloppy. I wanted to... No, actually... Yeah, actually, I wanted to go into quick Nagiha, Kara Nagiha, but you see I stopped there. It's a little less smooth, but I think it was worth it in hindsight because the extra distance from fully coming to a full stop on Fujin allowed it to reach at that time. I shouldn't be trying to Fujin out, not even as a spin. See, I got blown up by a sword, I got clipped by Ram's K. That's a very bad habit of mine that I need to work on. I was actually really happy I got shot by that super, because it built me a lot of burst. Anji's high life and guts and whatnot does give him a good amount of burst. No instant overhead, I didn't throw either. I think I just flubbed the execution on that. I've gotten a lot more consistent with the execution on it, and I practiced it beforehand, but I still wasn't 100% confident. I think Shin in neutral like that is also not paying dividends, with Ram being as mobile and having big reach in the air. That was really... I don't think... I disagree with how I handled that. Sometimes spin like that can work in regards to spinning through the stuff. It can catch Ram's sword before the explosion comes out. No cancel, no Fujin, that was an issue. But I'm pretty sure I have it here. No, not quite. I know that things go pretty quick, and the last match is kind of what I've been focusing on. The last round, last match, where I make it through in losers. I wanted to kind of establish pressure early. A slight spin on Fujin. Let me take a quick step back, just to go over thought process. So what I wanted to do is, since Ram's startup on her far slash is 11 frames, and spin is a 10 frame startup, I wanted to preempt it and try and spin through it on the assumption she would try to far slash me just to establish distance immediately. And if she ran up to me to try and run up throw, I would just let it rip so it would catch her moving. Worst case scenario, she blocks, and I can continue doing what I'm doing here. I'm really surprised that low worked. Again, Ram just is not punishing properly on Nagiha. It must be a knowledge gap. 6B after Nagi is not a great idea. Don't do it. That's also not a great idea. Don't do it. I should have paid attention to how much DZ likes to backdash and maybe try to close slash there. I could have stolen a burst and saved a lot of my life. And I knew I would survive this. So what's the mix-up? I saw that there was an empty kind of movement. I guess being under pressure allowed me to see in slow motion, but looking at when Ram air dashed, see nothing kind of came out. It didn't cancel into the momentum, didn't keep the air dash momentum rather into an air move. So I thought a throw is coming and I got lucky. I should have RC'd. I had the match and I'm not familiar enough with, I don't do enough RCs out of throw. I guess another part of it is Anji wants Oki all the time, so I just autopiloted, and that was unfortunately a time where I need to break out of autopilot. Since then, I've tried doing more RC combos, especially close to the corner from throw, and they paid dividends. Believe there was a weekly Discord match where it paid off. This is the part I've kind of focused on most. I don't want to get supered, so draining the super, I felt more confident, I guess. We'll go to the exact moment here again. So YRC, I thought, okay, let her come to me, and I can deal with it if she runs towards me. That's why I got a little distance back. 2S, if we go forward just a little bit, I timed this. You can see the jump happens just as 2S is winding down. Let's see if I go back into... So right here, about the time, the frame I go back into a neutral animation, she starts air dashing at me. And from here, what could it's a very small amount of time, so I don't think reacting to Ko with my reactions is a very good idea. Or rather, it's not something I could do in time. And 6B probably would have worked. Air throw probably worked. JK probably would have worked. What is Ram jump? I believe jump P is what comes out. No, jump S goes over me. So yeah, all of those would have won. But I go for Old Faithful. This is a wild kind of way the moves are interacting and whatnot, aren't they? And unfortunately, she recovers first. I believe, yep, I'm still in the recovery animation. So even if I had hammered throw, it wouldn't have worked. I had meters, so I probably could have done something with that. Ultimately, I think that the game plan I went in with, where I wanted to focus on playing around neutral, was fine. But my main issue was that I didn't have the knowledge for funky situations that I haven't practiced. Like I said, Anji wants to get Oki a lot, so that was my main focus. And overall, I should have focused on a little more slightly close quarters situations with regard to neutral, rather than the long distance neutral I plan to play around. That wraps up everything. DZ, fantastic competitor. I'm very happy with my match, and still, even though I lost, I'm very happy with how I performed at Combo Breaker. You know, my first major, and I managed to make it out of pools. Even on loser's side, I still got within the top 100 out of 1,000, over 1,000 entrants. So I'm extraordinarily pleased. Maybe this will become a more regular thing going forward. Maybe it won't. We'll have to see. I do play in plenty of weekly matches. Thanks for paying attention. And if I run into you at any point online or in person, let's play some great games together. Take care.